I directly with Trump, we are not slaves or not your puppets. Today, we stand as free Africans, not as servants, not as resources, not as colonies. They thought Africa would stay silent, but Africa has awakened. Brothers and sisters, they came to us once again, this time with smiles and promises of progress. They call it the United Nations Digital ID Program. They say it's for our safety, our development. My brothers and sisters of Africa, today I stand before you not as a politician, not as a man seeking applause, but as a son of this soil, the same soil that our ancestors walked, bled for, and died defending. I stand before you because the time has come for truth to be spoken and for Africa to finally take its rightful place in the world, not as a colony, not as a supplier of raw materials, but as a continent of free, dignified, and powerful nations. They have come to us again, wearing suits instead of armor, carrying contracts instead of chains. Like and subscribe the channel to make the great Africa. Also hype this video because more people know about the truth of Africa. They no longer arrive in ships, they arrive in private jets, speaking the language of diplomacy, yet demanding the same tribute our ancestors were forced to give. Recently, one of them, Donald Trump, sent word that if Africa wishes to do business with his nation, we must surrender 70% of our gold, our oil, our natural wealth. 70%! I ask you, my people, is this partnership or is this plunder? Is this friendship or is this the same exploitation that has kept us poor while others grow rich from our blessings? They dress their greed in beautiful words like investment and stability, but the truth is this: they want Africa to remain the backyard of the West, a place where wealth flows out and poverty remains behind. Let me say this clearly so the whole world can hear me. We will not surrender even 1 grain of our gold to any foreign power that seeks to enslave us again. We are not their servants. We are not their fields. We are not their mines. We are a continent of kings, of queens, of warriors, of builders, of thinkers and dreamers. For centuries, they told us we were nothing. They drew borders that divided our tribes, our languages, and our futures. They built their nations with our blood. They lit their cities with oil from our land. And now they return pretending to offer partnership while hiding the same chains of economic servitude. But I tell them this: Africa has awakened. We will not bow to Washington, nor to Paris, nor to London. The days when the West could dictate our destiny are over. They used to come with guns and flags. Now they come with corporations and sanctions. But the goal is the same: to keep Africa dependent. And I, Ibrahim Traoré, say to them those days are done. They called me and offered deals, loans with conditions, aid with strings, trade with traps. They said, "Captain, this is how the world works." And I said to them, not anymore. They offered us dollars, but we no longer measure wealth in the currency of our oppressors. Our wealth is in our people, in our land, in our unity. They want 70% of our gold. I say they will not get even 1%. They want to control our oil. Then let them drink their oil. Africa will no longer beg for fuel while sitting atop rivers of black gold. We will refine it ourselves, we will sell it ourselves, and we will build our future with our own hands. They threaten us with isolation, with sanctions, with economic punishment. Let them. They cannot sanction 1 billion people who stand together. They cannot isolate a continent that feeds the world. When they cut us off, we will trade with each other. When they close their markets, we will open our own, and when they try to divide us, we will unite even stronger. I say to the youth of Africa, do not fear them. They have satellites and banks, yes, but we have something greater: courage, resilience, and the truth of our cause. They built their empires on our silence, but that silence has ended. From now on, we will speak with one voice, a voice that says, Africa is not for sale. They mock us when we speak of sovereignty. They say, you need us. You depend on our technology, our systems, our currencies. But I tell them, it was African gold that built your economies. It was African diamonds that adorned your crowns. It was African oil that fueled your wars. You have taken from us for generations. Now it is time we take back our future. When I refused Trump's demand, they called me reckless. They said I was endangering my nation. But let me ask, what is more dangerous, to defy injustice or to obey it? What is more dangerous, to live in poverty forever or to fight for the dignity of our children? I will never sell the destiny of my people for profit. I will never exchange the pride of Africa for promises written in another man's language. We are building a new path, one where Africa stands on its own feet. We will mine our gold, refine our oil, and invest in our own industries. We will educate our youth not to flee their homeland, but to build it. We will trade not in exploitation, but in equality. We will no longer export raw materials so others can manufacture and sell them back to us at 10 times the price. We will create our own value, our own wealth, our own destiny. To my brothers and sisters across the continent, from Ghana to Nigeria, from Kenya to South Africa, from Mali to Sudan, this fight is not just Burkina Faso's. This is Africa's fight. When they strike at one of us, they strike at all of us. Let us rise together as one people. Let the borders they drew mean nothing to us. Let the spirit of unity that once defined us return stronger than ever. To the West, I say this: we are not your enemies, but we will not be your victims. We are open to friendship, but not submission. We are open to trade, but not theft. If you come with respect, we will welcome you as partners. But if you come with greed, we will show you the door. They think they can buy Africa's silence, but they do not understand the new Africa cannot be bought. We have seen too much, we have lost too much, and now we are ready to defend what is ours. Every mine, every barrel, every tree, every drop of water on this continent belongs to its people. When I look into the eyes of our young soldiers, I see the fire of our ancestors, the same fire that burned in those who resisted colonization. That fire cannot be extinguished by threats or money. It burns in the hearts of millions who know that Africa deserves better. They will send their media to call me a dictator, a radical, a danger to stability. But I ask you, whose stability are they protecting? The stability of their corporations or the freedom of our people? They are afraid, not because we are violent, but because we are awake, and an awakened Africa is the end of their power. They say, you cannot survive without us, but tell me, who feeds whom? Who provides the raw materials that keep their industries alive? Who gives them the cobalt for their electric cars, the gold for their banks, the oil for their machines? They depend on us, but they have built illusions to make us think we depend on them. That illusion ends today. I do not speak for myself. I speak for every African child who dreams of a life without hunger. I speak for every mother who toils in the fields, yet cannot afford to feed her children. I speak for every worker who sees his labor enrich others while he remains poor. I speak for the millions who have been silenced by poverty, by corruption, by fear. To all of them I say, rise. Rise, because the chains are breaking. Rise, because this is our moment. We will not fight the West with weapons. We will fight with wisdom, with unity, with economic independence. We will build African institutions that serve African interests. We will create our own banks, our own currencies, our own satellites. We will no longer depend on Western aid that comes wrapped in debt. Let them know that the Africa of today is not the Africa of yesterday. We are no longer the divided colonies they once ruled. We are a continent of revolutionaries, innovators, and believers. We will defend our dignity with every breath. They wanted 70% of our gold and oil. I say they will get none of it, not because we are selfish, but because we have finally learned that giving away our wealth has never brought us peace, only poverty. We will use our gold to build schools. We will use our oil to build hospitals. We will use our land to feed our people. And when our children ask what we did, we will say we stood and we fought and we reclaimed what was ours. So to the world I say, do not mistake our desire for peace as weakness. We are patient, but we are not passive. We are humble, but we are not blind. If you respect us, we will embrace you. If you exploit us, we will resist you. Africa is not rising. Africa has risen, and those who built their empires on our backs will now watch us rise higher than they ever imagined. The future will not be written in Washington or Paris. It will be written here in Africa by African hands in African languages for African generations. Let history remember this moment. Let it remember that when the world demanded our wealth, we chose our freedom. Let it remember that when they threatened us with isolation, we found unity. Let it remember that when they thought Africa was asleep, we awoke and rewrote the story of our people. Our ancestors watch us now, the spirits of those who resisted colonization, who dreamed of independence, who suffered under foreign flags. They are watching. Let us not fail them. Let us build the Africa they dreamed of, an Africa that stands tall, free, and unafraid. Like and subscribe the channel to make the great Africa. Also hype this video because more people know about the truth of Africa.